Hello everyone. So let's continue our discussion about ecology. And as you remember in the previous videos, we have covered organismal ecology or individual ecology, in which we are studying individual organisms within certain species. So now we are moving into population ecology. So population ecology, first let's define a population. So a population is a group of individuals of the same species living in an area. So it could be the whole species, or it could be a chunk of a species, and also the area is not really defined, so it's up to the examiner in the study. So the area could be anything, maybe like 2 meters by 2 meters area, or 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers area. So it is not defined, and it is up to each examiner or each researcher to define the boundaries of the area that they are examining. So population ecology is the study of populations in relation to environment, including influences of density and distribution, age, structure, and population size. So because of that, in the coming slides, we are going to go through density. We are going to go through distribution profiles. We are going to go through population size and how can we represent that, population size using mathematical equations. So first, dispersion. Dispersion is the pattern of spacing among individuals within the boundaries of the population, and density is the number of individuals per unit area or volume. So we have three general patterns of dispersion. So we have the uniform dispersion, in which the individuals are more or less equally dispersed or equally distributed among the boundaries of the area. And we have the random dispersion, where they don't really follow a certain pattern. They are dispersed randomly in the boundaries. While the third one is the clumped dispersion, where we see like aggregates or clumps or groups of individuals within that boundary. So let's go through each one of these types of dispersions. So as we said, the first one is uniform dispersion. So here individuals are evenly distributed, and this may be influenced by social interactions such as territoriality. So for example, the penguins, so each pair of penguins, they show territoriality. Usually the male is the one that has this territoriality, and because of that we see the pairs equally or evenly distributed among the boundaries of the area. Moving to the example of Douglas fir. So Douglas fir, they form trees that are very large, very tall trees, in order to get exposure to the sun, because they are shade intolerant. So if we imagine that there is a seed there, so the seed trying to grow in the shade of a long tree like that, this seed will be shaded out, so it will die off, it will not grow, and this may explain the uniform distribution of Douglas fir. So the next type of dispersion is the random dispersion. In this case, individuals are positioned independent on one another, so there is no real effect of each individual on the dispersion of the other. So this is a type of dispersion we will see when there is no strong attractions or strong repulsions between the individuals. So the interactions between them is really negligible. And the third type is the clumped dispersion, in which the individuals aggregate in patches, and this may be influenced by resources availability and behavior. So in this example we see sea stars, they are aggregated at the shore because of the availability of resources there. The same pattern. We may see it in other animals, for example in elephants. So they tend to form a herd, so they aggregate or they show the clump dispersion to form this herd, which is a kind of behavioral interaction for like protection, moving in groups, so they are protected. The second item we are going to discuss is the density. So density is defined as the number of individual per unit area or unit volume, and there are 4 different processes that add or remove to the number of individuals within a population. So 2 processes that add include the birth and the immigration, so the movement of birds from their native or birth environment to join a new population, and then we have 2 processes that removes from the number of individuals. They include the deaths and the immigration, so the movement of these birds from this population to join another population. So now we have 2 processes that add and 2 processes that remove from the individuals, and both they affect the density.